Hi and welcome. If you enjoy my content, you can also find me on Twitch. Before we start, I just want to show the base that we'll be crafting today, which is an instacker Lich Circlet with an abyssal socket. The craft has costed me 65 divines on average, and as you can see, I've sold these bases for around 200 divines. With two perfect prefixes and one craft, this cost is approximately 100 divines. I will try to keep the video as short as possible. Hope you enjoy the video and my professional editing. I will also be posting each and every step of the craft in the description in addition to the video. So, the first step is to acquire the base. You can do this on any Lich Circlet with eye level 85 and upwards. Preferably you'd like 25 quality and above, since this is quite an expensive craft. Second step, since Hunter Exalted Orb and Crusader Exalted Orbs are quite expensive, to save some money we will throw a cheap Shaper Orb onto our base to get an influence. Shaper Exalted Orb is approximately 25 chaos, and the reason we're doing it this way is to save some money. There are 6 influence types where we want 2 of them, Crusader and Hunter. So instead of paying the extra money for Hunter or Crusader Exalted Orb, we will reroll the influence of our item, and for that we need Primal Crystallised Lifeforce.
All in order. I'll let you know.
And here in 3 tries we hit Crusader with a total cost of 0.5 divine instead of 1.5. Next step is to get the donor base. Without any specific modifier, here the only thing we're looking for is the other influence that we did not get in step 2, which was the Hunter influence. Step 4 is to buy an Awakener's Orb and to move over the influence from our donor base to our Lich Circlet. Now, the part that might be a little bit frustrating. Here I spent approximately 14 divines, and in this step is not necessarily required, but it can and most likely will save you some money. And that is to throw Orb of Remembrance on our base. The numbers we are looking for or aiming for is above 75. And next step, make the item magic and go to the menagerie to create an imprint. Now, once we have our imprint, we want to regal the item and try to make sure that we have above 60 memory strands. Lower can also work, just lower odds again. I don't know the exact breakpoints. If anyone does, please share. If you hit less than 60, use your imprint, create a new one, and regal again until you're satisfied. Next, we're doing some delve crafting, and here we need 4 fossils. Corroded, Fundamental, Sanctified, and Hollow. And we use them in a Prime Chaotic Resonator. I use them in batches of 10, according to Craft of Exile. If my configuration is correct, it's about 1 in 6 chance to hit what you want, which is T1 Intelligence, Abyssal Socket, and T1% Intelligence. And here we hit T2% Intelligence and T2 Flat Intelligence. Again, back to the Menagerie. The reason is that we have a prefix that is not T1, and we want to make sure our memory strands are not consumed by that modifier. So we add a metacraft to the item. If your suffixes are full, it's guaranteed to be prefixes cannot be changed. This costs around 90 chaos instead of 2 divines, and to perform the meta beastcraft, you need Wild Bristle Matron and 4 yellow beasts. Now, once we have prefixes cannot be changed, we scour to make sure that we only have the suffixes left to upgrade, and now we buy an Orb of Unraveling to try to upgrade our modifiers. And here we managed to upgrade the Flat Intelligence, but not the Percent Intelligence. And that's fine, but now we need to elevate the Influence mod, the Percent Int, twice instead of once. And now back to the menagerie again. Here I actually could have exalted twice and hoped for an influence mod, but yeah, we add the metacraft again, so we can go to the harvest bench and reroll influenced modifier while preserving our suffixes. And for this you need 1 sacred crystallized lifeforce and 5,000 primal crystallized lifeforce.
I should raise my feet. I'll put the word out. We'll make it happen.
Then you choose in the harvest bench, reforge an influenced rare item with random modifiers. We filled our prefixes here, but that's fine because we can elevate the mod, and the influenced prefix will get removed if we hit our 50-50, meaning that we elevate the percent intelligence. And luckily, we hit the first time. But we are not done yet. The modifier can still be elevated one more time to reach 12% intelligence. You could settle here for a non-elevated percent int and sell the helmet for 80 to 100 divines, but with elevated the price jumps to 200 and above. So back to the menagerie. Again we apply the metacraft and reroll with an influence modifier. Unfortunately we hit 2 influence mods, so now the odds are 1 in 3 to actually elevate the percent intelligence mod. And on first try, we remove one undesired mod and elevate an undesired mod. So we have another chance. Unfortunately, here we fail. And this is where the imprint is needed. We start over with our memory strands. So again, back to the menagerie to create the new imprint. And back to delve crafting. This time we hit T4 flat int, so it's worth trying to upgrade with the Orb of Unraveling. And if it fails, we just use the imprint and repeat.
All in order. I'll let you know.
Luckily this time we managed to upgrade flat int to T1. So again, back to the menagerie for the metacraft. And again, reroll with an influence modifier and try to elevate with an Orb of Dominance. And success. Now this base is worth around 200 divines. And here if you want to finish the craft, you go back to the menagerie, you use the metamod craft and exalt and clean and repeat until you hit percent ES and hybrid ES, and then you craft flat ES. Or you can also go for the option where you hit hybrid ES, flat ES, and you craft percent ES. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for future crafts or way this craft could be improved, please comment below.